of septal cartilage form the external nose along with the fibrofatty tissue. यहाँ पे fibrofatty tissue है, and there are few minor alar cartilages as well in the framework of external nose. So the external nose is formed by bones, nasal bones, and frontal process of maxilla, and also the nasal part of frontal bone, not seen here. And the cartilages are lateral cartilage, paired lateral cartilage, paired major alar cartilage, and one median septal cartilage. Now, a little bit about the alar cartilages. You just have to remember the names. Alar cartilage. This alar cartilage is a U-shaped cartilage. This is a U-shaped cartilage. In cross section, it is like this. This is the external nose seen from the inferior aspect. So this is alar cartilage. It is U-shaped. It has a lateral crus and a medial crus. The medial crus of the two sides, they unite by a fibrous tissue and they form the mobile part of the external nose, the lowest part of the external nose, which you could easily palpate in yourself. It is called columella. Columella. The nose is a very common part of the face to be fractured because it is exposed. So the fracture of the nasal bone is very common. Then the blood supply of external nose is by way of ophthalmic, maxillary, and facial arteries. You don't need to go into the depth of these. And the nerve supply is by the branches of trigeminal nerve, which you already read in the region about face. The lower part of the nose, the skin of the lower part of the nose contains many sebaceous glands, which when enlarged, if enlarged due to infection, can give rise to a lobulated tumor-like structure, lobulated tumor-like condition, which is called rhinophyma. This is a disorder of the sebaceous glands of the external nose leading to a lobulated tumor of sebaceous glands called rhinophyma. Then the nasal cavity. The nasal cavity is actually the nasal cavity is a pyramidal structure having a roof, a floor, two lateral walls, and a medial wall or the septum. Okay. Now, the nasal cavity, also called the internal nose, is divided by the median septum into two halves. So we have two nasal cavity, right nasal cavity and left nasal cavity, which are separated by a median septum, also called nasal septum. This nasal cavity is divided into two parts. One is the vestibule. Vestibule is the area of nasal cavity lying just inside the nostril, which is covered by hair. Okay, which is lined by skin having hair. And rest of the part other than the vestibule is the nasal cavity proper. Each nasal cavity proper has a roof, a floor, a medial wall or septum, and a lateral wall. This is the nasal cavity. This nasal cavity has, this purple one is the nasal septum, which divides this nasal cavity into right and left halves. Then each nasal cavity has a roof. This is the roof, a floor seen here, lateral wall. This is the lateral wall, and this purple colored is the medial wall or the septum. Each nasal cavity communicates with the external environment by way of external nares or nostrils, and posteriorly each nasal cavity communicates by way of choanae to the nasopharynx. I'll show you later. And this nasal cavity proper is divided into right and left halves by the nasal septum. The nasal cavity, here you can see the communications of the extensions or the connections of the nasal cavity. Each nasal cavity communicates anteriorly with the external environment, posteriorly by way of guanae with the nasopharynx, the posterior most aperture of the nose. The anterior, likewise, there is an anterior aperture which is called anterior nares. There is a posterior aperture which is formed by the bones. This posterior aperture is called guana, and it communicates with the nasal cavity with the nasopharynx. Then superiorly, this nasal cavity is separated from the cranial fossae by way of several bones: frontal bone, ethmoidal bone, and sphenoid. Inferiorly, this nasal cavity is separated from the oral cavity by way of a hard palate. This is the nasal cavity. This midline is the nasal cavity. Superiorly will be the cranial fossae. Inferiorly, there is oral cavity. It is separated from the cranial fossae by way of frontal, ethmoid, and sphenoid bones. Inferiorly, it is separated from the oral cavity by way of hard palate, and lateral to each nasal cavity lies the corresponding orbit. Or you can say that the orbit is lateral to the nasal cavity. Okay, so these are the communications or the connections or the extensions of the nasal cavity or the relations of the nasal cavity. Anterior nares, you know about the anterior nares. I told you about the anterior nares. It is nothing but the opening or the nostril seen, and this is the posterior nares or the guanae. Guanae is the plural, singular is the guana. Okay, so these are the guanae. How the guana is formed? These are the they will be dealt with while you will be told about norma basalis. Okay, we are not going into the depth of that. Now, the roof of nasal cavity. The roof of nasal cavity is very narrow. It is only about 1 to 2 millimeters in thickness. Each nasal cavity, the roof is only 1 to 2 millimeters in thickness, and it is 7 to 8 centimeters long and curved. 7 to 8 centimeters long and curved. This is the roof of nasal cavity. This is 7 to 8 centimeters long and curved, but it is very thin. How it is formed? In the middle, it is horizontal and it is formed by the cribriform plate of ethmoid. Anteriorly, the anterior part, it is sloping downwards, and anteriorly, this sloping anterior part is formed by the nasal spine of frontal bone. This is the frontal bone. This is the spine of frontal bone. Then the nasal bones. Then the junction between the lateral cartilage and the septal cartilage. We will talk about it. The cartilages present in the external nose. Same cartilages. So it is formed by the junction of the septal cartilage and the lateral cartilage. Then posteriorly again it is sloping downwards and it is formed by the downward sloping body of the sphenoid, or you can say the anterior surface of the body of sphenoid. This is the sphenoidal sinus. This is the body of sphenoid. So it is formed by the body of sphenoid. This is the roof of nasal cavity. Then the floor of nasal cavity. The floor of nasal cavity is horizontal. It is 5 centimeters long. It is 5 centimeters long and it is wider as compared to the roof. It is about 1 to 1.5 centimeters wide. You can easily understand that this is the nasal cavity. This is the oral cavity. Between them lies the hard palate. So the floor of the nasal cavity is formed by the upper surface of the hard palate, or you can say it is how the hard palate is formed. Anterior 3/4 of the hard palate is formed by the articulation of the palatal process of maxilla, and posterior 1/3 of the hard palate is formed by the articulation between the horizontal plate of palatine bones. So basically the floor is formed by the upper surface of hard palate. Here it is shown from the, this is nasal cavity seen from the superior aspect. So these are the these purple colored two palatal process of the maxillae are articulating here, and these are the two horizontal plates of palatines articulating here in the midline. At their articulation, there is an elevation in the midline from anterior to posterior aspect. This is the nasal crest. This is called nasal crest. Okay, so it is very simple that the floor of the nasal cavity is formed by the upper surface of the hard palate. I told you about the dimensions of the roof and the floor. Then each nasal cavity is about 5 centimeters in height. Okay, it is about 5 centimeters in height, and anterior-posteriorly it is about 5 centimeters in height, and anterior-posteriorly it is about 5 to 7 centimeters. Now the medial wall or the septum. When you people are asked about the nose in your exams, you are either asked about the septum or you are asked about the lateral wall. More often you are asked about the lateral wall, but septum and lateral wall both are equally important. So you will be asked how the septum is formed, what are the bones, what are the cartilages, what is the blood supply, what is the nerve supply of the septum. And likewise, you will be asked about the lateral wall. So these two are very important. Now we will talk about the medial wall or the septum. So the septum, which divides the nasal cavity proper into right nasal cavity and left nasal cavity, is a septum or the medial wall. This septum is formed by bones and cartilages, which are then covered by a mucous membrane. Okay. In our nose, we can't see the bones. That's it. It is our nose is the interior of our nose is soft and pinkish because the underlying bones and cartilages are covered by the mucous membrane. So the bones and cartilages which participate in the formation of septum are posterior-superiorly. It is formed by perpendicular plate of ethmoid. This is the cribriform plate of ethmoid. Cribriform plate of ethmoid is a horizontal structure. From the cribriform plate of ethmoid, from the midline, a plate is present which is projected downwards. This is called the perpendicular plate of ethmoid. So bony part, the bony part of the nasal septum is formed by perpendicular plate of ethmoid posterior-superiorly and vomer bone posterior-inferiorly. This pink colored is vomer. So it is formed by perpendicular plate of ethmoid posterior-superiorly and vomer posterior-inferiorly. Other than that, these are the two main bones, perpendicular plate of ethmoid and vomer, which form the nasal septum. Now the gap between these two is filled by cartilages. What are the cartilages present? Because it is septum, so the cartilage, the main cartilage is the septal cartilage. This is the septal cartilage. Second is septal processes of major alar cartilage. Septal processes of major alar cartilages. What are septal processes? Septal process is nothing but the medial crura of major alar cartilage. Medial crura of major alar cartilage. What happens here that mainly these two bones form the septum. Anterior part between these two septum is filled, between these two bones is filled by the septal cartilage. Then in the lower part, the septum is formed by the septal processes or the medial crura of major alar cartilage, which I told you already that they join together and they form the columella, which is the lower mobile part of our nose. We can easily appreciate this in our nose. In the midline, lowest most part of our nose is movable. This is the columella. So this forms the lowest limit of the nasal septum or the lowest end of the nasal septum. It is also called columellar septum. Between the columella and the septum proper, this septum proper, a little part of septum is formed by skin only, double layered skin only, which is called membranous septum. So the septum is formed by these two bones and two cartilages. The cartilages, septal cartilage is a large cartilage. The other cartilage, that is major alar cartilages, they join, their medial crura join and they form columella. Between the columella and the septal cartilage, there is a double layered fold of skin present, which is called membranous septum. So membranous septum and columella, both are mobile part of nasal septum. You can mobilize it in your own nose. Okay, other than these bones and cartilages, some other bones also participate in the formation of nasal septum. What are those? Nasal spine of frontal bone, nasal crest of nasal bone. What is nasal crest? The elevation which is produced because of the articulation between the two nasal bones in the midline. So nasal crest of frontal bone, nasal crest of nasal bone, then nasal spine of frontal bone, sphenoidal crest. There is a prominence present on the sphenoid bone. Sphenoid is not taught separately. So just remember that there is a projection, there is a elevation present in the sphenoid, which is called sphenoidal crest. Then the nasal crest of maxilla and palatine bones, which I have shown you, these nasal crests. So this also forms the nasal septum. Okay. Now these are the bones and cartilages. This arrow is showing the nasal cavity, one here and one there. Right nasal cavity and left nasal cavity. We have removed the lateral wall of nose here so that we could see the formation of nasal septum here. Other than ethmoid and vomer and septal cartilage and the medial crust of major alar cartilage, the other bones are nasal spine of frontal bone, nasal crest of nasal bone, sphenoidal crest, and nasal crest of palatine and maxilla. So again, this is a nasal septum. As I told you that the bones and cartilages are covered by a mucous membrane. So in a living being, the nasal septum will appear like this. Or in a projected specimen, the nasal septum will appear like this. We will not be able to identify the bones. Then usually this nasal septum is not strictly present in the midline. Usually it is deviated towards the right. But sometimes if the deviation is very much more, the deviation is excessive, then it might lead to nasal obstruction, rhinorrhea, repeated infections, and difficulty in breathing. Then this is called deviated nasal septum, and this is corrected by various surgeries. And one important thing about the septal cartilage, this septal cartilage which is present here in the nasal septum, its anterior-superior border forms the external nose. So this septal cartilage this septal cartilage supports the external nose. So if due to some disease, some injury, or due to some surgery, there is excessive resection of the septal cartilage or there is restriction of septal cartilage, तो क्या होगा? The support, the external nose, the cartilaginous part of the external nose will not be supported, and it will lead to a deformity which is called supra-tip depression of external nose. The dorsum will be a little depressed. The dorsum of external will be a little depressed, and it is due to the destruction or excessive resection of the septal cartilage. So septal cartilage, it forms the nasal septum, and it also supports the cartilaginous part of external nose. Now, lateral wall of nose. Lateral wall of nose is very complicated because it is formed by many bones which articulate with each other, and because the independent bones are not taught to you, because they are so small and they are so difficult to extract, they usually break. They are so thin, though so friable, that we are not able to get these bones, and we don't teach these bones separately. So and there are a lot of bones present which articulate with each other, so it is a little bit complicated. तो अभी हम इसको देखते हैं. The lateral wall of nose, how it is formed. The lateral wall of nose is again formed by bones and cartilages. What are the bones? I have just enumerated the bones. Nasal bone, frontal process of maxilla, lacrimal bone, concha and labyrinth of ethmoid, inferior nasal concha, perpendicular plate of palatine, medial pterygoid plate of sphenoid. These 7 bones are present in the lateral wall of nose, and some cartilages are present. What are the cartilages? Lateral nasal cartilage or upper nasal cartilage, major alar cartilage or lower nasal cartilage. It is the same alar cartilage which was forming the septum, which was forming the external nose, major alar cartilage, and 3 to 4 minor alar cartilages. Now we will see about it. Before going to the depth of this, I just want to show you a schematic picture of ethmoid. Ethmoid is an unpaired bone. Ethmoid is an unpaired bone. Here, what are the paired bones and what are the unpaired bones? Ethmoid is an unpaired bone. Inferior nasal, ethmoid, and this sphenoid and frontal. These are the unpaired bones. Rest are the paired bones. So this is a schematic picture. So this is an ethmoid bone. This ethmoid bone has a horizontal plate which you could easily make out. This is the cribriform plate of ethmoid, which was forming the roof of the nasal cavity. It has a lot of tiny openings by which the olfactory nerves from the nasal cavity enter the brain. These tiny openings are present. These are for the olfactory nerves, for the passage of olfactory nerves from the nasal cavity to the cranial fossa. Then this is the cribriform plate of ethmoid. This is crista galli, you know this. From the midline of this cribriform plate, a plate descends downwards. This is the perpendicular plate of ethmoid, which was forming the posterior superior part of nasal septum. On either side, it has 2 bony labyrinth. These are called ethmoidal labyrinth. Labyrinth is a room-like thing. Okay, compare it with a room. So the ethmoid bone is a projection of middle ethmoidal ear cells. Then this tract is the ethmoidal infundibulum, which penetrates the labyrinth of ethmoid and enters enters into the frontal sinus or communicates with the frontal sinus. You could appreciate one process here. This is a process. This process is present on the anterior border. This goes posterior-inferiorly. This is called uncinate process. This uncinate process covers the maxillary hiatus. So this is called uncinate process. So you will find all these things in the medial wall of the nasal cavity. So this is a little bit about the ethmoid bone, which you should know with respect to lateral wall of ethmoid. You don't need to go into the depth of ethmoid bone. You are not asked about it, but you should know about the parts. Now, this is the lateral wall of nose. These are the cartilages. Sorry, these are the bones and these are the cartilages. Bones are, this is the maxilla. This purple colored is the maxilla. Most of the lateral wall is formed by the maxilla. If you remember the maxilla, there is a nasal surface. The nasal surface bears a maxillary hiatus. The hiatus in the disarticulated skull is very big onto the maxilla. You know this thing. You were told about this in your class of maxilla. So this purple colored is the maxilla and this is the frontal process of maxilla. Okay. So maxilla is seen here. Then this green colored. This is the ethmoid. This is the labyrinth of ethmoid. The labyrinth of ethmoid shows some projections which are called concha or turbinate. Concha or turbinate. So this is the superior concha. This is the middle concha. So this is not a separate thing. This is the this is nothing but the projection from the medial surface of ethmoid. This is the superior concha and this is the middle concha. These are the shelf-like projections from the medial surface of, these are the shelf-like projections from the medial surface of the ethmoid bone, which are called superior concha and middle concha, or superior turbinate and middle turbinate. Here you could see them, you could appreciate them, superior concha and middle concha. Then this is the uncinate process of ethmoid. This uncinate process, which covers part of the maxillary hiatus. Uncinate process of ethmoid, which covers the part of the maxillary hiatus. So maxillary hiatus is not seen here. यहाँ पे हमें छोटा सा सिर्फ एरिया दिखाई दे रहा है हाइटस का जो खुला हुआ है, बाकी सारा एरिया बंद हो चुका है. ठीक है, ये दिखाई दे रहा है और ये दिखाई दे रहा है. Then this is the lacrimal bone. This is the lacrimal bone. This lacrimal bone gives a descending process which covers the maxillary hiatus. Then this is the inferior nasal concha. Now note one thing, that superior and middle nasal concha, they are part of ethmoid bone. They are nothing but the shelf-like projections from the medial surface of ethmoid bone. But inferior nasal concha in itself is a independent which reduce the maxillary hiatus. Here to it, you could appreciate this purple color, this bone, this perpendicular plate of palatine, and behind the perpendicular plate, this is the medial pterygoid plate of sphenoid bone. Medial pterygoid plate of sphenoid bones. So the bones of in the nasal cavity, in the lateral wall of nose, are frontal process of maxilla, lacrimal bone, then this is the nasal bone. This is nasal bone of one side, this is nasal bone of other side. Okay, so nasal bone, frontal process of maxilla, lacrimal, ethmoid, labyrinth and concha. इसमें की superior और middle concha है. Then inferior nasal concha, perpendicular plate of palatine, medial pterygoid plate of sphenoid. These are the bones present in the lateral wall of nose. Now the cartilages. This is the lateral nasal cartilage or the upper nasal cartilage, and this is the major alar cartilage or the lower nasal cartilage. This alar cartilage forms the septum. It forms the cartilaginous part of external nose. It forms the cartilaginous part of the lateral wall as well. Okay. So the bones are important. The cartilages are not that important in exam point of view. Okay. This is actually the external nose, na? This is actually the external nose. The bony part forms the pyriform aperture. उसके बाद जो होता है सारा का सारा external nose होती है. So this is actually the external nose. So the cartilages which were present in the external nose, they will also be seen here in the lateral wall. So nasal process and the lateral nasal cartilage and the major alar cartilage, and rest of the in rest of the part there is fibrofatty tissue, and this fibrofatty tissue has few very small cartilages, 2 to 3 in number, which are called minor alar cartilages, So the bones are nasal bone, frontal process of maxilla, lacrimal, conchae and labyrinth of ethmoid, inferior nasal concha, perpendicular plate of palatine, medial pterygoid plate of sphenoid. The cartilages forming the lateral wall of nose are lateral nasal cartilage, also called upper nasal cartilage, major alar cartilage, also called lower nasal cartilage, कोई एक नाम याद कर लेना, and 3 to 4 minor alar cartilages, which are present in the fibrofatty tissue of the nose. This is again the lateral wall of nose. The bones present can be identified here: lacrimal, maxilla, ethmoid, nasal. This is the nasal bone, not lacrimal. This is the lacrimal bone. Nasal, maxilla, lacrimal, ethmoid, inferior nasal concha, palatine bone, perpendicular plate of palatine, and medial pterygoid plate of sphenoid. Here you can appreciate, here the bones of lateral wall of nose are seen, but here we have removed the middle concha. Middle concha को यहाँ तोड़ दिया गया है. जब middle concha को तोड़ देंगे तो क्या दिखाई देगा हमें? ये एक elevated part दिखाई देगा, ये एक फूला हुआ part दिखाई देगा. This is the bulla ethmoidalis or ethmoidal bulla. Just below the ethmoidal bulla, infundibulum is present. This infundibulum is present, which is in continuation or which is entering into the frontal sinus. So this bulla can only be seen after removal of the middle concha. Otherwise, it is covered by the middle nasal concha, as you can see here. This is the middle nasal concha, and उसके अंदर आपको ये जो शैडो में दिख रहा है, इस शैडो के अंदर जो दिख रहा है, this is the ethmoidal bulla. So only this ethmoidal bulla is due to the presence of middle ethmoidal iris and can only be seen after removal of this middle nasal concha. So here it is shown. Okay. Now in the next, this lateral wall of nose is divided into an anterior part, a middle part, and a posterior part. Here, anterior part, this smooth one is the middle part, and this irregular area is the posterior. The anterior part is called vestibule. The vestibule is the area just above the nostril, just superior to the nostril, and this is lined by skin. Sorry, this is lined by skin. And because this is lined by skin, so it will be having the sebaceous glands and very coarse hair in it. Very coarse hair in it. These coarse hair will trap the bigger dust particles in them. So they are protective to us. This vestibule is separated from this area, from rest of the nasal cavity by way of a mucocutaneous line, a mucocutaneous curved line, which is called lumen nasi, which is called lumen nasi. This is the mucocutaneous junction. The vestibule is covered by skin, whereas rest of the nasal cavity is covered by mucous membrane. So the vestibule is separated. Vestibule is the anterior part of the nasal cavity, and it is separated from rest of the parts by a mucocutaneous junction, which is called lumen nasi. This is the anterior part. In the middle part of nose is this smooth depressed part, is the middle part of nose. This is called atrium of middle nasal meatus. This area, this is called atrium of middle meatus. Okay, atrium of middle meatus. This atrium is bounded inferiorly by lumen nasi and superiorly by a mucus ridge called agar nasi. Agar nasi. So the area present, a depressed area, a smooth depressed area present between the agar nasi and the lumen nasi is the atrium of middle meatus. This is the middle part of lateral wall of nose. Then the posterior part is the most important part. Posterior part is characterized by concave or turbinate and meatus. Concave and meatus. Posterior part is characterized by concave or turbinates and meatus. There are three concave. What are concave? I told you already that concave are the shelf-like or scroll-like. Scroll is rolled paper. Paper roll. Rolled paper-like projections from the lateral wall of nose, which projects towards the nasal cavity downwards and medially. Which project towards the nasal cavity downwards and medially. So the superior nasal concha and the middle nasal concha, they are the part of ethmoid bone, whereas the inferior nasal concha is a separate independent bone. So usually three nasal concha are present: superior nasal concha, middle nasal concha and inferior nasal concha. Then below and lateral to these conchae are the spaces present, which are called the meatuses. So there are three conchae. Likewise, there will be three meatuses. The superior nasal concha is the largest concha, whereas the superior nasal concha is the smallest concha, whereas the inferior nasal concha is the largest. Sometimes a small concha above the superior nasal concha can be seen, which is called concha suprema. Concha suprema, not always present. At your level, you can simply say that there are three nasal conchae, superior and middle, which are part of the labyrinth of ethmoid, and inferior nasal concha, which is an independent bone. And below and lateral to the concha, the corresponding meatus is present. So there are three conchae. So there will be three meatuses, that is superior meatus, middle meatus and inferior meatus. Meatuses can only be seen after removal of these conchae. When you remove these conchae, or when you lift these conchae, then only you will be able to visualize the meatus. But we have a schematic diagram here. So I think you got the concept of conchae and meatus. Conchae क्या है? Conchae lateral wall of nose से project करते हुए shelf like projections हैं, bony projections हैं, जो lateral wall of nose से medially and downward project कर रहे हैं. और उन shelves के नीचे जो जगह है, उन shelves के नीचे जो medial wall, lateral wall of nose में जो जगह है, that is called a meatus. Meatus is nothing. Corresponding concha के नीचे एक जगह है, that is a meatus. Okay. What is the role of these conchae? the concave increase the surface area of the nose. For the inspired air, they increase the surface area of contact of the inspired air to the nose. Okay. Here is a schematic diagram. This is the lateral wall of nose and these are the shelves. These shelves are the concave. Superior, middle, inferior. हाँ, ये middle है, ये inferior है. This is superior, this is middle and this is inferior. ये उस तरफ की nasal cavity का है, right nasal cavity के concha, and these are the concha of the left nasal cavity. Okay. The space which is seen below and lateral to the concha, which is shown by this blue purple line, this is the meatus. Superior meatus, middle meatus, inferior meatus. Okay. Between the superior meatus and the roof of the nose, a depressed area is present, which is called sphenoethmoidal recess. Sphenoethmoidal recess. Grace says that it is present between the roof of nose and the superior meatus. Some books say that a depressed area on the lateral wall of nose behind the superior meatus is called sphenoethmoidal recess. Okay, so remember it. Now there is a schematic diagram. This is the floor of nose and this is the lateral wall of nose. This is the lateral wall of nose. These shelf-like projections are the concha. Superior, middle, inferior, and below and lateral. Below and lateral to the concha, the space in the lateral wall is the meatus. So this is superior meatus, this purple colored, shown here in purple color. Superior meatus, middle meatus, inferior meatus. Okay, superior meatus, middle meatus, inferior meatus, and above the superior meatus, below the roof, or you can say between the roof and the superior meatus, depressed area is there. This is sphenoethmoidal recess. This is called sphenoethmoidal recess. Okay, so this is the concept about the concave and meatus. Very important, very important. The formation, the bones of the lateral wall, meatus, concave, everything is asked. Then another important point. This is the lateral wall of nose. This is the lateral wall of nose after removal, after cutting the concha. सुपीरियर कॉन्का को काट दिया, देन ये मिडिल नेजल कॉन्का को कट कर दिया गया है, एंड हियर इंफीरियर नेजल कॉन्का हैज बीन कट. After cutting the nasal concha, the meatuses are clear now. This area is the superior meatus, this area is the middle meatus, and this is the inferior meatus. Now various meatus receive various openings. Okay. We will continue from here in our next lecture tomorrow. A lot of